Hey everybody, it's the Real World Prepper, RWP, dropping in again to just give you a brief message. So, I did that video yesterday, and then this morning I got a text from Steve Smith at Integrated Preparedness, and then I gave him a call in return versus texting. Anyway, we had a brief conversation, and I explained, of course, I told you I'm, at an undisclosed location, here at a beach with family. And what I was describing to him about, he had asked how we were doing, if we were having a good time and all that good stuff. And so I called him, and what I explained to him about the time we were having, he made a comment. He said, you should do a video on that and talk about this topic because I think it's important. Well, I think it's important too. And while I hadn't thought about making a video on it until he suggested it, well, anyway, here I am to do a video on it. So, what I was talking about was how, this vacation that we do, we try and do annually. We have done annually for probably 25 years, save for last year when it wasn't COVID, but it was other circumstances, some health issues in the family that prevented us from doing it last year. So we're back this year, after 2 years from the last run. And I had said to Steve Smith at Integrated Preparedness that what I like about this vacation is that it's my parents, it's my sister, of course, my family, and sans Mrs. RWP, as I explained yesterday. And there's a family friend here as well that's like family, Anyhow, I like that we're all here together. We don't go out and do a bunch of fuss. There's a couple of restaurants we like to go eat at, but mostly we go and buy a bunch of groceries and we just stay put. Here I'm sitting in the garage. It's raining. I'll show you real quick. So it's raining. So we're not out at the beach, but we've been hanging around the house, and lots of conversations come up. I've had one-on-one time with my father, one-on-one time with my mother, one-on-one time with my sister, my little RWP, the family friend, again, that's like family, and so on and so forth, and multiple occasions. This gathering that we do, and while I explain this again to Steve, that, we all live in the same area back in Tennessee, like within a few miles of each other. And while I see my parents and my sister and these people and I'm around some, the trappings of everyday life don't warrant the same kind of quality time that this visit typically affords. And so I was telling him that one of the things that I really like about it is those close moments, those conversations, unfiltered and with, not necessarily any agenda and no time frame on them. No, at no point do I have to say, look at my watch, which I'm not wearing a watch. Look at my watch and go, well, okay, I got to run because I got this, that, and the other to do, which is typical in the real world. As I've said a bazillion times, I'm the real world prepper, and what I mean by that is that I'm prepping and I'm of that mindset and trying to do all the things to prepare to better myself and my family in the event of calamity, whatever that may be, and then also trying to navigate normal life, the real world, job, bills, mortgages, family, obligations, etc. So I was explaining to him that what I like about this is that we get this uninterrupted time with one another, and it leads to just deeper conversations and making deeper connections. And Steve Smith at Integrated Preparedness pointed out that he said, that's what is necessary to build and strengthen the bonds in your family, which are so important for everything, for for not only your family, but for your community and for society at large, because that's what's missing in a lot of people's lives. And so he suggested I do a video on it and just speak on it. And so that's what this is. Just letting you know that when you have the time, and if you're close with your family, or at least if you're not at odds with your family, as I know so many are, and I hate that. That's so unfortunate in those cases. But make the time, even if it's not on a vacation where you're all piled up in the same house together. Make the time to have those deeper conversations. I know me personally, I didn't know much about, this is an example, and this goes back a couple of years. For a long time, I didn't know much about the details of my father's life. He was orphaned by the death of his parents a year apart when he was, I'm probably going to get the age wrong, but he was 10-ish, He was passed around between family members until ultimately his aunt, his mother's sister, adopted him and his brother, and then they raised him, and she had a husband when she adopted him that died, and then remarried, and that one died, and then remarried again, and to a man that had a family of his own. He was also a widower, and so it just was a rough childhood for my dad. Well, these are things I wouldn't know if I didn't have these opportunities to have these long conversations and ask questions and get to know these things. And as a kid, and of course I'm 50, but as a kid, you don't think about these things. They're not important to you necessarily, or rather, they're just not in the forefront of your mind. So again, that's just an example. This was a conversation he and I had a few years ago in this similar setting. I believe in this same setting, but a few years ago. But these are the types of things we talk about. Well, it doesn't matter what we talk about, just that we're talking, and we're having deep conversations and really connecting, and it does build those bonds, and those familial bonds, those communal bonds. All that stuff is just so important, especially in these times where we are. So, per Steve Smith's advice, I'm just dropping this with you guys to let you know that that's what we're doing here, and it's not planned. It's very organic, and it's a beautiful thing, and I love it. I love my family, and I do feel like we grow stronger with a stronger bond when we have these moments. And I encourage all of you guys to do the same, those of you that are in the position to do so. I know many don't have your parents around anymore, or your kids are off in other states, or whatever the case may be. While that is what it is. Every person, a grown adult, has the right and ability to do and go where, do what they want and go where they want and pursue the life they want. I think the importance of family connections and bonds should be pointed out, should be noted. And for those of you guys that do live nearby your family, your parents, your kids, your siblings, your cousins, lifelong friends that you consider family, take the time, if you're not already, to try and build those bonds with no agenda, without a timestamp attached to it, as best as you can, and do it. It's good for your soul. It's good for the family. It's good for all of you involved, and it's definitely a good thing when it comes to the idea of preparedness, because if you don't have those bonds, and say the sky falls, right, you can be on your own, and no man is an island. So just something to ponder on. And I want to thank Steve Smith at Integrative Preparedness for suggesting that I say a word on this. So anyway, with that, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.